Hi there everybody, so in today's video I have this VW Golf. This is a 2007 1.9 TDI, and I'm just gonna be changing the oil filter, the air filter, topping up some screen wash fluid and checking the coolant level and the antifreeze percentage. And I'm gonna start by putting some screen wash fluid. The screen wash fluid goes in here. I've already opened that cup, that little blue cup there. So you just need to buy some already mixed screen wash fluid from any garage really, and you can top that up. You can also buy some concentrated fluid. And mix it yourself. I wouldn't recommend just topping that up with water or mixing it with fair liquid or anything like that, because for once, if it gets really cold, it will freeze, and another one is because it forms a kind of a jelly stuff that then blocks all your jets. Okay, with that full, we can just close that. And now we're gonna check the coolant. Okay, so we find the coolant in this container. Just open that cap. Now, if the engine's been running, be careful when opening this cap, as you don't want to burn yourself. Water can jump out of here, so just open it slowly, so it releases any pressure that's in there, or just wait for it to cool down and then you can open it safely. Just have a look at the coolant in there. Looks clean, and it looks orangey pink color, and might not be very visible, but there are two lines in there, down there. One is a minimum and one is a maximum. So we are aiming to be at the max, and I can see that this is at the max line. The line below that one there is the minimum. So that one is at the max. So the level is good. Don't really need to do anything with that. And now we can check the antifreeze percentage just using this little tool. I'm sure there is more modern ones or more sophisticated tools out there for checking this now, but this one works just fine for me and is indicating minus 25 or so. So that's how much it will withstand, so it won't freeze, that coolant. So we don't really need to do anything with that. Obviously, if it was a little bit low, then you have to top it up, and then check why it might be low, but sometimes there could be a leak, a minor, very small leak somewhere, and it's losing a little bit of antifreeze. Anyway, that one's okay, and now we can move on to the air filter. Air filter goes in this box. Got some Phillips screws, need to be undone. I've already undone those screws, so this cover just lifts up basically, and that's where the filter is. That filter looks very, very clean, to be honest, but I'm getting my parts haven't arrived yet. So anyway, when you get your bit, this part number is there, LX1211, that's the make. You just remove it that way, and then you refit the new part, close this box and put the screws back in. So I'm gonna leave it like that for now until I get my bits. So next we can move on to the oil and the oil filter, and for that I'm just gonna take this cover out. This cover, you just need to pop it up and then pull it towards you. It's got a little clamp like here, so pop it up here in the front and pull it towards you. Now that's the oil filter. Okay, so that's the filter housing there. I've got a 32mm socket here with an extension, and we can open that housing. It's a bit dusty in here. I think this material is being falling apart. I think this belongs to the cover. So just before I remove this filter, just give it a quick wipe so we don't get this stuff inside of that area. Okay. Just take it out carefully, and there's gonna be some oil leaking from it. So that's our filter there. And we can pull this out basically, but it is a little bit hard. Sometimes it gets a bit hard to pull it out. Okay, so these clips are holding on to this area here, and it is a little bit hard to pull, but nevertheless I use the screwdriver on the edge of that to pull it out. Okay, now I'm waiting for the filter, so as soon as I get the filter we can deal with that. In the meantime, I'm just going to put a bit of paper in the housing here, just to keep it covered and avoid any dust or anything going in there. And we can get the car up now, and I'm gonna drain the oil from underneath. So looking at the car from underneath, we have this cover that we need to remove. There's some screws, Torx T25 and some T30s. The three here are T30s. And once you undo those, you can let this cover down and remove it. And then we have access to the sump. So get yourself an oil pan, and then we need a socket to get that open. Okay, so I have a 19mm socket, 19mm, and just crack that open. Make sure your oil pan is underneath, and remember, if the engine has been running, that oil might be very hot, so just be careful not to burn yourself. Okay, so now I'm just gonna let that drain there between 10 minutes or so, 5 to 10 minutes, and then we can refit our sump plug. Okay, that's been draining for some time now. We can fit our sump plug back in. Just inspect the washer. If you notice that it's damaged or anything, you can replace it. In this case, this washer is okay. It doesn't need to be replaced. But it is common practice that we usually replace that washer. But it is in good conditions, and it should provide a good seal. Sump in there, and then just tighten it to the feel of tight, and that's it really. We can wipe that off just to make sure there's no oil remained in there. If we are checking next time around, if there's any oil around here, then we know there might be a leak somewhere. So now I'm just gonna refit that underneath cover and drop the car down and top up some oil. Okay, so now we're ready to put our new filter. So just remove that old O-ring, and there's our new filter there. That's an OX188. You will get a new O-ring in there, and it's just a matter of now putting the new O-ring around the correct groove, and then we will get our filter, and it's just a matter of pushing it in until it clicks. So it should click in and it will be obviously tight and won't be able to come out, just as it was when we tried to pull it out. I'm also going to apply a little bit of multi-purpose grease to that O-ring for the purpose of when we refit this filter, the O-ring can slide nicely inside the housing without getting damaged and creating a nice seal for oil not to come out from there. You will find that on top of that filter cover there is also written either 23 or 25 Newton meters. That isn't a lot of force, and I'm gonna just use my wrench. I don't have a torque wrench, but you just need to close it up until the wrench stops, and then give it an extra little bit of force, and that should be enough. I'm gonna top up the oil, and the technical manual was a bit confusing. It depends a little bit on the engine that you have, but it says this is a 1.9, but it says 3.8 liters or 4.3. So I'm gonna put 3.5 liters and then check the dipstick and see where we at, just to make sure we don't overfill it. I can then run the car and check the dipstick again. So I'm using 5W30. So on the dipstick here we have two areas, the minimum down here, and then the maximum at this end. Obviously we're just changing the oil, so we're aiming to be at the top end here. So we're gonna see how much oil is in there. I put 3.5 liters. Okay, so looks like that is nearly at the top, which probably means this will take 3.8 liters, because once I put the extra 300, this will go over a little bit. It will go over a little bit, but some of that oil goes into the oil filter housing. So we'll have to double check again. So I'm gonna go by 3.8 liters at the moment, and then run the engine, and then double check that in case we need to top it up. Dankeschön. Now I'm topping up the extra 0.3 to make the 3.8, as we saw the dipstick was a little bit low.
Well,
Now just checking the dipstick again after topping up, and the little mark is gone up. It's gone up to the max, so that should be fine now. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So hope this video helps, and thanks for watching.